It's 2 a.m., you're staring at your phone, reading the same message over and over. They said they just want what's best for you. But somehow you feel smaller, less certain, more controlled. It starts quietly. They notice what you wear, who you talk to, what time you reply, and you call it love. Because at first it feels like care. They say, I just worry about you. I don't like the way they look at you. And you think, this means they love me. But one day you stop doing things you once loved. You stop talking to people who made you feel alive. You stop being you. That's not love. That's control. Let me explain why this happens. Control in relationships is rarely about dominance at first. It's about conditioning. Every human has two core psychological needs: to feel loved and to feel safe. When someone learns to make your love dependent on their approval, they own both. You start to associate their comfort with your peace. This isn't random. It's psychology. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement. It's the same trick used in casinos and toxic relationships alike. Reward, punishment, warmth, withdrawal. They give you affection, then they take it away. Just enough to make you chase it. You start thinking, if I just do better, if I just stay calm, maybe they'll love me again. That's not love. That's psychological conditioning. There's a story I once heard about a man named Daniel. Strong, intelligent, independent. He fell in love with someone who made him feel seen for the first time in years. At first, she adored him. She called him her anchor, but slowly she began to question his choices. Why do you always hang out with them? You don't need to talk to her. I'm here for you. It sounded harmless, even sweet. But months later, Daniel's world had shrunk to one person, her. Every decision passed through her emotional filter. Every silence felt like punishment. And when he finally stood up for himself, she said, "You've changed. You're not the man I fell in love with." That's the trap. They mold you into what they want. And when you become it, they despise it. Control isn't always violent. Sometimes it's a quiet erosion of your confidence, disguised as devotion. Here's the truth. Controllers don't crave love, they crave certainty. They can't handle the idea of you being free because your freedom threatens their control. So they blur the line between care and possession. They create guilt loops. They play victim to make you feel like the villain. They use "I love you" as a leash, tightening it every time you pull away. And you stay. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is addicted to the pattern of pain and relief. That's how trauma bonds are born. When your nervous system confuses fear with love. Let me repeat that. When your nervous system confuses fear with love. But one day, you start to see it. You start to realize that love shouldn't make you question your worth. That care shouldn't come with control. That real intimacy doesn't shrink you, it expands you. You begin to detach. Not with anger, but with clarity. You stop explaining yourself. You stop begging to be understood. You stop reacting to their emotional storms. And that's when the power shifts. Because the one thing a manipulator can't control is a calm mind. Detachment is not coldness. It's strength. It's the ability to see someone's tactics and choose peace over chaos. You start to rebuild. You find your own voice again. You rediscover silence, not as punishment, but as freedom. Love and control cannot coexist. One breathes life into you, the other suffocates it. Love says, "I want to see you grow." Control says, "Stay where I can see you." The difference is everything. So the next time someone tells you they're doing it because they care, listen closely. If that care costs you your peace, your independence, or your self-respect, it's not care. It's a cage with velvet walls. Here's the truth. Real love doesn't fear your freedom. It celebrates it. And once you understand that, no manipulator can ever own you again.